Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're at it for one more day here. Should be able to finish up taking this short block apart. This is for Curtis's EJ for Subaru. I did say in the last video that if it was okay with Curtis that I'd give you guys a cost breakdown as we go along, just so you know what things are costing. He seems to be okay with it, so I mean, as we're going along, I'll let you guys know what things cost. But yeah, in the last video I was tearing this down. Took significantly longer than I thought because I had to mess around with the heads. We had some ringland failure in it, and one of the heads got damaged. I got another one. And the cams, getting the cams out was a nightmare. You can check it out in the last video if you didn't see it. Really, really difficult getting the cams out. We're putting new cams in and new cam gears and all the phasers and lockouts and all that stuff. So I had to cut them out. Wasn't a big deal. But I'm going to get the rest of this apart in this video. We'll get it apart, and then I'll get it off to media blasting or vapor blasting, and we'll keep going on it. As I'm taking the bolts out, I'm making sure to take these washers out. These are pretty important when you're building an EJ. They've got rubber grommets in the center of them. You can see there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but in the center there's a rubber grommet, and that's important because obviously it needs to seal. It needs to make sure the water is not mixing with the oil inside the crankcase. Oil. Obviously the water jacket's all water, and they want to make sure it doesn't leak, so you've got to make sure that obviously we're going to get ARP bolts and make sure it's all done properly, but we're going to make sure we replace those washers as well. So the reason I'm trying to be real careful pulling this apart, the reason for that is obviously these two sides of the deck make the main bearing. So I'm trying to get it apart without, rolling any of the edges or doing any damage to that surface, because like I said, I gotta pull this apart. When that goes back together, first of all, it's gotta seal tight. There's no room in there to machine anything off, because if you machine it off, it's gonna crush the bearing too much. So you gotta be real careful when you're taking this apart not to be doing any damage to the edge. That's why I'm just taking my time, kind of moving my way around real slow to pull it apart. Oh, simple as that. Pistons got to come out first. That's what's holding it is the pistons, because you got to put the pistons, you got to put the block together with the crank and the rods in it, and then slide the wrist pins in afterwards. Looks like the pins got to come out before we can get the block apart. So let's take the pistons out. Not a big deal. I have never broken more tools disassembling one engine in my life. So I'm taking out my impact driver to take out two small screws that go over the plate to service, to get to the pin inside the piston and the rod. and broke off the tip of my impact driver. Again, that's a hardened steel bit in the end here. I can't for the love of God figure out why this engine is just, everything on this engine is so hard to take apart. It's, I don't know, but. Okay guys, so I got it all apart, got the crank out. Like I said, had to take the pistons off to get the rods out, cranks out, blocks all disassembled, everything's ready to go, still gotta get that plug out. But yeah, I am going to end this video here. So we got it all apart. It is gonna go in, like I said, for those of you that are new to the channel, we are going to build this hopefully to 1,000 horse. We're going to build it to high horsepower. I'm not going to say 1,000 horse because honestly we don't have the fuel up here for it. But we're going to throw a lot of boost at it, see if we can't get 45, 50 pounds of boost thrown at it. It's going to make some pretty big power. It'll be pretty cool. But I found out a lot about Subaru and about this engine. Now this engine is out of a, this engine here is out of a 90, no, sorry. I'm sorry, that's the engine, that's how it's going in. It's out of a 2007 or 2008 STI. It's an Ej25, and I found out a ton taking it apart, and I'm actually going to spec this engine out for you guys in the next video stock, and I'm going to show you why these things are ticking time bombs. For all of you guys out there that have Subarus that are like, you know, you hear all the, oh, you get rod knock and it spins rod bearings and it, you know, I mean, all the problems with these things. I have found out why. I found out why you guys get ringland failure. Like, the Subaru should be ashamed of themselves. They're doing this to you guys on purpose. This is out of an STI, which is the highest performance model. The things that they've done, they're not overlooked. They're doing it on purpose to screw you guys. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Subaru guy. You guys have heard me in other videos say that. I'm not a Subaru expert by any means. But I have built enough engines to know kind of a general starting point for performance engines, and this is a nightmare. So I'm actually going to spend the time, and I'm going to, before I send it away and send it down to get all the machining done and get everything done, I'm going to make a video on why these EJs are time bombs and what the problem is and how it can be fixed, because there is quite a few problems with this. And like I said, it's not that Subaru doesn't know what the problem is. They know what they're doing, and they're doing it on purpose. And at the end, all it's doing is causing you guys damage to your engines and having to rebuild engines. So I'm actually going to take a couple hours. I'm going to spec this engine out. I'm going to show you guys where the problem is, or at least where I think the problem is. If you guys are, if there's someone out there that watches this that's a Subaru specialist, so that's all you guys work on, and you can give me an answer on why you think Subaru did what they did, by all means, please let me know, because I mean, it could come in handy while I'm building this engine. But from what I can see, these guys know what they're doing wrong, and they're doing it on purpose. And yeah, it's pretty gross out. But for those of you new to the channel, we're building an EJ here. It's going to be a big horsepower EJ. It's going in Curtis's Dirtbag STI. that's what we're building right now. The channel is actually about a 97 Toyota Supra that we are building strictly on the votes of subscribers. Right now it's getting a Veilside body kit. It's getting a big 6 or 700 horsepower 2JZ engine, single turbo. Still lots to vote on. Check out a couple other videos if you want to see it. And if you're interested on what's wrong with an EJ, definitely tune in to the next video because I think you guys are going to be pretty surprised.